Hello everyone, this is Dipali and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will be talking about creating business rules on the model objects. I would recommend you to watch this video till the end, and people who are new to the topic should practice this in the test instance to get the most benefit out of it. Moreover, please also check the other topics in the playlist. Link is provided in the description below, and practice those as well on the test system to enhance your confidence. If you happen to be new, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the bell icon to get notifications on my new videos. Without further ado, let's get started now. In order to create a business rule, we will go to Configure Business Rules. And click on the plus icon to create a new rule. Click on Basic and select the radio button for Basic. Rule name, rule ID and start date are the mandatory fields at the time of creating a rule. I have provided the rule name and rule ID as Job Info Model Test. Now base objects defines the starting point for a business rule. They correspond to the different data objects that are available in the system. So each employee central object has a corresponding model base object, and the base object defines and controls what you can enter in the rule. So for example, you must choose a model base object to set the field properties. We will see what these field properties are at the time of configuring the rule. And the base object defines the different event types that can be used in a later step at the time of assigning the rule to the EC object in the data model. If I search with model in the base object, I can see there are multiple model objects that are available in the system. In our case, let's stick with the job information model. Select the job information model and click on continue. In the if condition, the job information model object is available. On expanding the job information model object and considering any field, say event date, I can see I have 4 values here, 4 options that are available: previous value, required value, and visibility. On every field that is present under the model object, there are options for previous value, required value, and visibility. Now let's create a rule based on the employee class. So even under the employee class, I have the 4 options: previous value, required value, and visibility. So the model objects are used to set the fields to required or to change the visibility of any particular field. The previous value and value are used to compare the value that was present previously in this particular field, in this case the employee class. So if I check that the job information model.employee class.previous value is equal to, I have 2 options. I can either select any particular value, these are the values or options that are present in the pick list, or I can just compare that the previous value is not equal to the current value, which would be employee class.value. So this condition will just check that the previous value of the employee class field is not equal to the current value. This means that the employee class field is changed. So this rule will actually be triggered on change of the employee class field, and also when the previous value of the employee class is not equal to the current value. Say for example, if my employee has an employee class as staff and now has become a contractor, so the previous value of the employee class is not equal to the current value, and this rule will trigger, and then whatever condition we set here, that rule condition will trigger. So let's raise a message. So in order to create a message, we will have to go to manage data, create new message definition, and provide a text for this message. It can be anything. So let's say employee class should be staff. I've given the external code and the external name. Same for the message definition, which is job info test, and click on save. Copy the external code from the message definition, go to the rule that you were creating and provide the code under the message. And severity, I have options to actually raise this message as a warning, error, or an information message. In this case, let's keep it as a warning message, and I'll click on save. So I have this rule created on the model object which says that the employee class dot previous value is not equal to the employee class dot current value. So this means that whenever I will change the employee class value on the job information, then I will get this warning message. Now for the rule to trigger, I have to assign this rule in the manage business configuration, job information, scroll down, select the job information model, and then on save of the model, select the rule here. The rule is not available under the job information as my base object. It is available on the job information model, and hence I will not be able to see the rule on selecting the job information as the base object. Select the rule and click on save. Once the job information is saved successfully, I'll go to my test employee, click on the job information, history, edit the history, go to the employee class field on which our rule is based on. So in this particular case, the employee class is not selected. I will select the employee class as staff and click on save. There is an error to provide a mandatory field in the job information, which I have provided now. Clicking on save again. There are errors to provide the holiday calendar, time type, and work schedules as well in the time information section. Providing all the mandatory information in the time information section and clicking on save again, I can see the warning message again. The employee class should be staff. I can either correct it or proceed. Had it been an error message, I should not have been able to proceed further. If I click on correct, the system allows to edit the employee class again. So if I change it to contractor and save, I still get the warning message. On clicking on proceed, the job information record is saved successfully. Now on changing this message into an error message and clicking on save, I'll insert a new record. Event can be data change, event reason, a general data update. And if I change the employee class again to staff from contractor and click on save, I get an error message and I don't have the option to correct or proceed. I can only close this pop-up. Employee class should be staff. We'll just close this, and on saving it, again, the system will always give me this error message and will not allow me to proceed further. Now let's also check what happens when the severity of this message is info. There will not be any warning message or an error message. There will just be an information message. Going back to the job information of the employee and selecting employee class as a workforce. So the employee class is now changed from contractor to workforce, and clicking on save again. There is just this information message, employee class should be staff, and the job information is saved successfully. Proceeding further, the model-based objects also have the capability to set a field to required or not, and also to control the visibility of a field. So when we set a field as required, we can provide two values, either true or false, telling the system to actually make that field required or not. The visibility can be controlled by using three parameters, which are called as both, view, and none. On providing the visibility of a field as both, field is visible as well as editable. When the visibility is set as view, field is only read only. You won't be able to edit that field. And when you set the visibility as none, field is not visible on the user interface at all. So let's see how it works. I'll just edit the same rule and set, say for example, notes field as required to true. I'll create another set condition and I'll set the visibility of FTE field to none. So what this will do, when this rule will trigger, it will set the notes field as required. So the save of the job information will not be allowed unless and until the value is provided in the notes field. And the FTE field will not be visible on the job information. Well, removing the FTE field from the job information doesn't sounds that logical, but this is only for testing purposes. You can configure your rule as per your requirement. So I'll just go to the test employee, click on insert new record, provide the event as data change and event reason as a general data update. We expect the rule to trigger on change of the employee class. And before changing the employee class, let's see here we have FTE field with FTE value as 0 before the employee class field or after the position title field. And if I click on show more fields, I have a notes field here, which as of now is not mandatory. I will trigger the rule by changing the employee class, say from workforce to contractor. FTE is still filled with value 0 and notes is not mandatory as yet. This means that changing the employee class does not trigger the rule. It's on save of the job information that triggers the rule. FTE field is not available and notes is saved without providing the message that it is mandatory. Clicking on edit, I can see that before the employee class FTE field, which was after the position title field, is not available here. So initially it was showing 31 fields and now it is showing 30 fields. The red asterisk that is available before the notes field shows that it is a mandatory field. This shows that the notes field on the job information model object is set as required and the FTE field visibility is set as none after the rule is triggered. So this shows that we can control the visibility of a field and set the field as required or not with the help of the model objects. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it was helpful for you. Do remember to check my other videos. Link for the playlist is provided in the description below. You can click the link you see on the end screen as well. Do comment in the comment section if you're looking for any specific topics in the Employee Central area. See you soon in my next video. Thank you and bye for now.